Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is the first time you ever found us, I'm happy you have. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. So, this is my first video, and I have to tell you, my nerves are gone. They're shot right about now. And there's good reason for that. I've been asked quite a few times to do video. So this is my first video. But I'm going to talk today about fear, because that's exactly what I feel right now doing this video. But guess what? I'm still doing it, right? But I'm going to go back just a couple of years real quick, because I'm going to talk about my own fear. You can relate that with the fear that you have in your own life and in some way, form, or fashion. So many years ago, and I could tell you exactly what year, 2010, I wanted to start my own poetry podcast. That never happened. My fear kept me locked in the dungeon, so to speak, and never come out with that podcast. And here are some of the things that I feared. People wouldn't like the poetry. People wouldn't like my voice. They wouldn't like the delivery. They wouldn't even like the way I sound. All those things, they just came to my thoughts. And believe it or not, the original message for today was the power of thoughts. But being that I have so much fear on getting on video, I made this about fear, and you could say that power of thought, because fear is what we think. Fear is an illusion. It's fearing something that may not ever happen, or fearing something that our imagination conjures up, right? So I feared getting on the microphone. I feared talking to the ether, to people, or even whatever my poems were about. It wouldn't resonate with people. I had so many excuses and why I never started that podcast. Well, last year my wife was terminally ill, like I said, and my grandson said to me, you should really do that podcast. And I said, I don't really know. And this is the fear talking. I don't really know what I would talk about. Who would want to listen to me? I'm a nobody. And he says, well, you read a lot. You read every day. Talk about one of the books that you have. Talk about anything. Talk about books. And that's not really what I wanted to do. So I decided to talk about my situation. And I went and purchased the mic, which is the Blue Yeti, and I talked about how I felt. I talked about my love for my wife. I talked about what she meant to me. And I think starting this podcast, which is called The Last Podcast, it was therapeutic, if anything. I mean, talking to the mic, not on video, but talking on the mic, helped me realize that I'm getting through a lot of my issues by talking. And if I can help, if somebody's listening and they're going through the same thing that I'm going through, they can see that I am surmounting my difficulties. I'm working through some things in my life. And if they have those same things and don't know what to do about their fear, about their anxieties, about whatever it is, or losing a loved one, I was going through all of that, and I was talking about it, and I wanted them to know that they're not alone. And by talking about it, I realized I wasn't alone either. Because people started saying, hey, what you said resonated with me. I understand that. I'm going through the same thing. How did you go through this? How did you feel? And talking about that stuff helped me immensely. So the fear of getting on the mic, I tackled that fear. Because nobody can see me. Nobody can tell me, oh, look at that stupid shirt he's wearing. Oh, look at his face. Oh, he's ugly. Or so all those fears dissipated because I was only on the mic. But now I've been asked to do video. So all those fears resurfaced. I don't have the right backdrop. I don't have the right room. I don't have the right video camera. I don't think I look good enough to be on camera. And that's one of the reasons why I've always been behind the camera, taking the video and taking the pictures. I love taking pictures, but I don't want the pictures being taken of me. So all those fears, I'm tackling them right now with you watching. So all those fears I'm tackling right now. I don't know you, but I have those fears. Is there something in your life that you fear? In January of this year, 2024, I decided that whatever I feared, this would be a pivotal year for me to just go ahead and break through all the barriers of my fears. What about you? I fear everything. I fear that nobody would like my videos. I fear that I may not get enough people to hear my message. But you know, the funny thing is about the power of thought. Fear is powerful. Fear can stop us from ever achieving our goals. But when your fear or when your desire to reach your goals becomes stronger than your fear, fear dissipates. It takes a back seat to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. It takes a back seat. If anything, it starts to give you energy. So whatever you fear in your life, deal with the fear. Fear head on. That's my message today. Break through the barriers. Break through the shackles of your own fears. Break through all that you fear and do it one at a time. Or if you want to go for extra credit, start breaking through your fears simultaneously. It's up to you. It's like when I go to the gym and I want to build muscles, I can't do that by watching somebody else bench press. I have to get underneath that bench and I have to say, you know what? I'm just going to bench press the bar first, because you have to start somewhere. For me, I'm starting with the fear of getting on video. I'm starting right here at ground zero, and I am going to go ahead and tackle my fear. What about you? Is there something that you're afraid of doing because of how you may think others might view you, or I see right now on video, there are so many people who really don't care. They embrace video, but there are a lot of us who do not embrace video. We cowardly go into our zones in the quarters, in the shadows, where we can only talk and hear, and people can hear our voice. But we need to pull back the curtains. We need to face our own fear. It doesn't matter what we're afraid about. It doesn't matter what we're afraid of. It doesn't matter if you don't like the color of my skin. It doesn't matter if you don't like that I'm African American, or I'm white, or I'm green, or I'm blue. It doesn't matter about the color of my shirt. If you have a message, if you have an idea, if you have something of value to bring to the marketplace, never mind what somebody is going to think. Change your perception. As a man thinketh, so is he. So that's saying, if I'm thinking a certain way about me, how can I expect somebody else to change their views about me if I don't change my own views about me? We have to start inwardly, with our fears, with our the way we perceive ourselves. We have to work on us inwardly, and then we can change our appearance on the outside. But what matters most is the core of our own being. And that's where everything lies. Our faith, our hope, our ambitions, our inhibitions, our fears. All these things are at our core. How we perceive ourselves, how we see ourselves. All those things are at our core. So change the way you see. Change your core. Work on the inner you. Then when you have done all the transformations on the inside, then work on the outer view. But your fear, let your fear take a back seat. And let your talents and gifts flourish. I'm petrified of letting this video out. But I believe the message about fear is more important than my own fear about how I may look, or how my room may look, or what I'm dressed in. I hope that this video is a pivotal point with the message that allows you to tackle your own fear. Let this message seep inside your heart and bring out your courage to tackle your own fear. My name is Dave. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, share this video with family, friends, co-workers, and your associates. It's been my hope that I might bring value to you, that one day might be able to implement in your own lives where you can change and add value and pass it on to the others of all the souls and lives that you touch. That's my hope for you. Be blessed. Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.